Alright, we're in the final days of preparation for the Gold Coast Marathon. The banners are going up, the runners are tapering, and the nerves are on the rise. In this episode of Why I Run TV, we're going to give you the perfect overview and a look at the course. So let's get the intros going and start this episode. Alright, we're down here at the start line of Sunday's Gold Coast Marathon. So we've got Lewis here from POGO Physio. He's given us a bit of time to give us some advice for those first few kilometres. So Lewis, thanks very much for giving us a bit of advice today. So that start line, it's such a big moment for marathon runners, particularly the first time marathoner. What's your advice for that person who's standing there for the very first time?
There's a lot of energy, a lot of nervous excitement for everyone. They've done all the hard work and it's time to finally run. It's very easy to get caught up in that excitement and run out really quick those first few Ks, especially if you're a bit chilly on the start line.
Yeah.
Really run into it. So we just want to try and stay relaxed and enjoy that initial 5K.
Yeah. So it is an amazing first 5 kilometres on that Gold Coast Marathon. Talk us through it. So we go from Southport through Main Beach into Surfers Paradise. What can we expect in those first few K?
So it's a nice way to start the run. We head straight down the Gold Coast Highway across the Sundale Bridge. Lovely views across the water early in the morning, and then head left into Main Beach, and again beaches all the way along your left as you head south. Yeah, nice and flat, nice and enjoyable. Could be some good spectators out early as well.
Yeah, awesome. It is. I think it's probably the best marathon as far as scenery goes in the world. And this is your second time doing the Gold Coast Marathon?
Yeah,
yep.
Second time.
Any particular aims for the day, or is it just to go out there and have a solid race?
There's a goal time in mind, but I just want to really enjoy the day and have fun out there.
Alright, so we're down here at Currow now. We're at the 9 kilometre point in the race. We've got through that start, the part through Surfers Paradise. So we're here with Scotty Page, fresh off a successful Cairns Ironman campaign. He's done a couple of these Gold Coast Marathons. So Scotty, how do we set ourselves for the 9 kilometre part down through Hedges Avenue, down to that 16 kilometre part at Burleigh? So give us some advice for this middle part.
Sure. Well, I think, you know, we've gotten through the excitement of the start and everything. Now becomes a little bit of work. Hedges Avenue is coming up. Anyone who's lived on the Gold Coast will train. Hedges Ave's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a boring part of the marathon. But the exciting thing about it is you've got the Burleigh turn coming very soon, which is very exciting. So you've just got to start getting into your pace now, get your splits right, start getting rhythm, a bit of momentum, and it goes silent. I think it goes silent because the crowds along the street line here, they haven't woken up yet, or that, you know, they're waiting for you to turn around and come back. So I think you get into your rhythm, start your breathing, follow your mantra, whatever it is for the day, whatever your goals are, start really accentuating that.
And what are some things that what are those mantras that you sort of put through your head? What is it the way that you start to tackle? Because you are sort of 45 minutes into the race for a lot of people now, getting close to that hour mark. So it's starting to get real. You kind of realise now you're actually in a marathon. The first part's a bit of a party zone. This is marathon time. So what is it that we need to get going through our head?
Yeah, that's correct. You really want to get into your splits. You know, by now, you know, you've done your training. You've probably done 6 months worth of training to get to this point. Believe in your training. Believe that your splits are going to get you through. Try and check the emotion out of it, because there's going to be some emotional times coming up. And just really, this is game day. This is what you've trained for.
You wear me down. My actions won't be forgiven.
Right, we're down here at the Burleigh turn. Now this is probably my favourite part of the course. The crowd is massive down here, and I'm down here with Ross Kingsley from the RK Pod, probably the Gold Coast's biggest running group. Ross, thanks very much for your time today.
Pleasure.
Ross is a local down here at Burleigh, so he knows this turn better than anyone else, and he's got a lot of people doing the marathon in a couple of days' time. So what advice do you give people about this turn, and what's the importance of this turn actually on the day for the marathon?
Tom, it's got the biggest crowd on the course. You're at the 15.5k mark, so you've run through 14, you've come through 15. It's your best running for the day. You feel fantastic because you're warmed up. You feel magnificent. A lot of people have their friends and family through here. A lot of people pick up supplies through here as well. It's very tempting to give the high fives and shout out to your friends and expend that energy that you may be needing later in the race. It's a crucial part of the course because you've got to maintain your pace. What happens when you see your family and your friends is you tend to elevate your pace, and you go off, and as you and I both know, you can't bank time in a marathon. Anything you think you try to bank, you're going to lose double at the other end. So it's really important to watch your time, be calm, be relaxed, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the fact that your friends and your family are there, but hold your pace at all costs.
So what do you think it is that's so special about this Burleigh turn? Because I guess apart from the start and the finish, this is the most enjoyable part of the race. It's the part that people love.
Yes.
What is it that makes Burleigh special?
It's the sea of spectators, it's the throng of people, it's the noise, it's huge down here, and of course you're running your best. This is the best part of your race. You feel magnificent, and I think with those two things combined, it's just so special.
So we're back here at Kurrawa at the 25-26 kilometre point. Now this for me in previous marathons has been a bit of a rough patch. I've popped my calf on the roundabout behind us a couple of times, so it's been tough going. So Scotty, at this particular point, this is where things can start to go really well for you on the day or really poorly. So what are some of the mistakes that people might make or want to kind of avoid?
Yeah, Tom, that's correct. You know, around this point in time, it's becoming, you're actually in endurance country. You need to start really getting that head, thinking about things. Aid stations, nutrition, hydration are critical things. That sun is starting to rise quite substantially in the air, or in the sky. You know, Service Paradise is just up the way. It's going to be hot, so you need to start being proactive about all those things that I just mentioned.
So okay to walk aid stations at this particular point?
It's fine. It's okay to walk aid stations. In fact, if you've trained that way, then that's a great way to do it. But it's okay to walk to aid stations. You can pick that back up.
And the crowd does really pick up as we go through Service Paradise, and we want to get to that 30 kilometre point, don't we? That Sundale Bridge, which is a bit of a barrier for a lot of people in good shape. That's really crucial.
It is a mental barrier. The 30k, you know, there's been a lot written about the 30k mark in the marathon and beyond. If you get to that 30k mark, check it, put it away, and then just keep trucking forward.
Alright, so here we are at about the 30k mark. There's no more famous monument in the Gold Coast Marathon than this bridge. This bridge pretty much signifies the end of what some people think of a 30k fun run and the start of a 12k run that really shapes your marathon. It either makes the day a wonderful day or it makes a day which possibly could be a day to forget. Not many people sort of get past the 30k mark in their training, so it's a big monumental moment as well. I know for me personally, this bridge, the Sundale Bridge, I've walked across this bridge with cramps before. I've pulled out of a marathon race on the other side, not even getting across the bridge. So this is famous, and this is synonymous with what our Gold Coast Marathon is all about. And from this point on in the race, you really are starting to look at each aid station to aid station. You've run 30 kilometres, and now it simply becomes 2 kilometres or 2.5 kilometres at a time, forgetting about the finish and just ticking off those aid stations one at a time. The Sundale Bridge, it's an amazing place. When you run over this on Sunday, take it in. If you're able to run over this bridge, then that's a great achievement, and you're not far from the finish. You get a good look at the finish, a good lift and motivation before you make that very final push for home. Alright, so here we are at the northern turn for the Gold Coast Marathon. This is Runaway Bay, Bigger Waters. This is the roundabout that people love and a little bit fearful of. So I've got Trav Briggs with me here. He is a good running mate of mine. He helped me through the 2017 marathon when things were starting to go bad for me. So Travis, talk to us a little bit about what goes through a runner's mind at this particular point in the race and some of the important things to remember in marathon running at this stage.
Well, this stage is the sort of the final stretch before the final stretch, I would say. So you got about, everybody thinks this is the turn right here at the roundup. It's not. It's another sort of half K, about a kilometer further down the road. It's a great stretch because there's heaps of support, all the cafes and restaurants all the way down the road, all the way to the end. Stick to your plan. If you've made it that far, then you've probably been hydrating the whole way, and take a minute through. There's one more station, I think, one or two more stations on the way through. If you've got the time, have a gel, have some water, get it in you, and just really enjoy that final stretch home.
The 41 kilometre mark of the Gold Coast Marathon. What's your day going to look like? You've got 1,200 metres. 1,200 metres to go to hit that time that you've been following and tracking all day. Or for me, that 1,200 metres, throw the time out the window, take person by person, face by face, metre by metre till you get to that finishing line. It's okay to throw the time out the window, throw out that nutrition and just crawl home. You do you and you make your story shine today.
All right guys, so here we are. This is it. This is the final finishing shoot. This is everything that you've been working for. You will have just come down off the Gold Coast Highway there, where there would have been thousands and thousands of people screaming your name. You got family, you got friends, and you enter this final straight here. You've got a bridge just behind us there which says about 200 meters to go, and at that point you realize that this is happening, this is real, I'm finishing it. Regardless of whether you're doing the 10K or the 21 or the full marathon or even one of those junior races, this is the finish that you'll come into. We're not going to show you that finish, we're not going to show you the blue carpet, because that's something that we want you to experience and we want you to see completely for yourself. It is a special occasion regardless of whether this is your first race or whether you are an experienced marathoner. So from us at Wire Run TV, we wish you the best of luck. We hope you have a great day. Give it everything you've got, make yourself proud. Regardless of what happens, your day is going to be a story. Your family's going to want to hear about it. Your friends are going to want to hear about it. So give it your best. Let us know how you went, and if you are racing, we might see you out there on the day. Good luck.